I hope everybody had an awesome week this week because I know I did, and I hope y'all did as well. But there's a lot that needs to be talked about. But man, oh man, but before we get into today's episode, it's actually cold in the regions that I'm from, but thankfully I got my Reaper Apparel hoodie keeping me warm. So the only thing you need to do is click the link in the description of this video, click the link that says Reaper Apparel, and use code No Mercy Sports 10. That's No Mercy Sports, all caps, followed by the number 10, and you will get 10% off your entire order. Why? Because look, if you're myself or a guest that's coming on that lives in the Northeast, or if you've lived in the Midwest or Mountain West, for all I care, you're gonna need a hoodie that's gonna want to keep you warm. But enough mumbo jumbo, because why? It's time for the most uncut, unfiltered, and unfucking censored sports talk show you will find on YouTube. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode of No Mercy Sports. Yeah.
Nobody can stop me now.
God, I love that intro. It always gets me hyped up for doing what I love, and that's talking about sports. Now, before we get into today's episode, I got two guests that have basically been originals on this show. But without further ado, let me introduce today's first guest. He is big, he is spicy. Man, oh man, I've never met a bigger Baltimore fan than this man. Please help me welcome to the stage, Mr. Spicy Big Mac, Matt Campbell. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? Baltimore it has been electric the last few days, man.
Ooh.
It has been electric. I'm not gonna jump into it, but
hey, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Now, much like myself, I love to stir the pot, and I know this man loves to as well because he embraces a role of villain. Please help me welcome to the stage the host of College Sports Villain, Mr. Andrew Anderson. How you doing, buddy?
Good. What's going on, guys?
what's up?
Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby.
Man, that Baltimore news, man. I can't wait for you to talk about it. Like, what a freaking man.
We're gonna get into the Baltimore news, but first, now I'm not too crazy about basketball just because they decided, hey, you know what? We're gonna mix up politics and sports. We're gonna do our own thing. But there's been a lot of crazy things going on in the world of basketball. For instance, it's pretty clear that Dillon Brooks has embraced, much like Draymond Green did when the Warriors went on their run. It's pretty clear that Dillon Brooks has embraced the role of the villain of the NBA after a flagrant foul on Tuesday on LeBron James and causing Jarred Vanderbilt to get ejected. Is Dillon Brooks' style of play too dirty?
I mean, no. Look at Draymond Green. No, it is not.
So again, though, like you also have to remember, right? So these two have bad blood, all from last year. The shit talking in the playoffs, and like even before that, they kind of nipped at each other. But now it's like after last year's playoffs, every time the Rockets play the Lakers, it's gonna be some fireworks. It's gonna be some shit popping off. It's not just gonna be like. And then he's been very in your face at times this year. So we'll see. But embracing the villain, he's been the villain. He's been the villain.
Couldn't agree more.
Nothing wrong with being the villain.
You already know about that. I mean, the one thing that bothers me is that I was watching First Take when everything went down, and Shannon Sharp, being the fucking bronze sexual that he is, because Jordan, let's be honest, played in a different style of basketball at the time. He was saying, yeah, it would have been cool in the 80s and 90s, but nowadays you can't get away with stuff like that. But at the same time, when Dillon Brooks, when he was on the Memphis Grizzlies, he got in LeBron's face and even said in the post-game conference of the playoffs, he ain't scoring 40 on me. What happened? The Grizzlies got blown out by 40. What happened when Dillon Brooks did what he did? The Rockets won by damn near 20 points. You already know if MJ was in that game, that fucking shit wouldn't have happened.
No, MJ was a killer. LeBron is not, but I'm not going to take anything away from the guy. We discussed that last night on my show.
Okay.
He posted hourglass with the time ran out. I think that's cryptic. I think we should appreciate him now because I think this is the end for him. But with that being said, he ain't Jordan. He ain't never going to be.
Yeah, and that's why he's ranked number 2 of all time.
Correct.
Yes, he is a great player. He is consistent in what he does. But MJ was a killer.
Yep.
Like, MJ would go up to his opponents and be like, hey, who's guarding me? Oh, this dude is. Oh, I'm dropping 50 on him.
Yep, him and Larry Bird.
Now, Larry Bird was, much like Cooties at the time when we were kids, the silent killer.
Man, he went to Dominique Wilkins, who is my favorite player of all time, and he said, you guarding me today? He said, yeah. He said, you know what? I'm going to drop 40 on you left-handed, and played the game left-handed and dropped 39. I mean, and Dominique said, it wasn't 40.
I was going to say, Larry Bird played a game where he dropped 30 fucking left-handed.
He did. On us.
Silent killer, and I love it. I mean, even, what was it? The show on HBO Max, Winning Time between the Lakers and the Celtics.
Yep.
There's a scene between Magic and Larry Bird. I don't know if this actually happened, but all the reporters are like, Larry, how you feeling tonight? Feeling good. What'd you have for dinner last night? Food. How do you feel going into tonight's game? Feel good. I, no shit, looked at my wife and I'm like, that's your fucking dad right there. He gives 1 to 2 word responses. He is Larry Bird if he became a cop. Like, no shit. Oh, God. I love it. I love it.
Larry was a shit talker.
He was. He was.
Listen. If they had mic'd up games like they do now,
yeah.
Oh, you talking about legendary clips that would never die?
Yeah, they would be canceled today. Like we would never get to hear them again.
Absolutely. I mean, in my opinion, I'm about to go into a different sport. The 2 greatest mic'd up baseball clips are Anthony Rizzo burning down Freddie Freeman, screaming Frederick. And during spring training, Freddie Freeman, after a Braves player hit what was supposed to be a routine fly, and he's just rounding the bases. There's win, boys. There's win. There's win. And he scored from fucking first. I love it when players are mic'd up. There's nothing better.
Yeah, I love when players are mic'd up. I'm with you. I wish it could have happened in the previous era because those guys gave no fucks at all. They were just dirty and nasty. I would have given anything to have Dennis Rodman mic'd up. Anything. Anything.
You know what? I think that's inappropriate. Okay.
It would have been very inappropriate.
Like, it'd be like BET at night, like back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
it can only be shown after midnight. Like,
Yes,
ESPN After Dark.
that's right.
That was literally Dennis Rodman.
Man, how awesome would that have been? Because you've heard some stories where people said Rodman said some crazy shit to him. He who was it? Charles Barkley said Dennis Rodman came and said, "I'll pull your dick off if you do that again." I mean, could you imagine hearing that shit mic'd up? Man, it would have been gold. Gold.
It would have been a 90s version of the video that's out there. Grab his dick and twist it.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude. This is an MMA fight.
Hey, look, you do what you got to do to win. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Listen, hands down.
Okay,
I think
settle down, Eddie Guerrero.
So the other thing that he was known for talking about is, oh, you got a nice ass.
Yes, he did.
Like, and literally trying to cop a feel, talking about how nice somebody's ass feel. I don't give a fuck. Grown man, trying to sit there and pinch and touch your ass while you playing basketball.
Oh,
That's
my
gonna
God.
fuck with you.
It is, and especially being as big as he was too. Like Dennis Rodman was a monster. I mean, he looked kind of small in some of those clips, but if you look at him, like he was big.
Oh,
Like,
no,
he was
6'8", 6'9". He's
Yeah.
like 200.
He was that dude that was scrawny, but he was built.
Yeah, I mean,
Nah, hold on. So his I'll say his first 4 years in the league with Detroit,
he was little.
so he slowly, like through those 4 years, he slowly started to get bigger. By the time he hit the Spurs,
Yeah, he was a monster.
yeah, like what did he have? Like 28 rebounds in one game.
Well, he had a stretch
and
where he
0
went
points
28,
too.
24, 26, and 22, like in a 4-game stretch. Like boom, 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 boom. That's insanity.
Man wasn't a scorer, but you best believe he was a rebounder. And
He knew his role.
Rebounding defense.
Right.
He's arguably the greatest rebounder of all time.
Oh, he is.
And anybody watching this video, like, if you go and watch The Last Dance, this man had a science to fucking rebounding.
I don't even think it's arguable. I think he is the greatest rebounder of all time. Like the guy just knew where to be. He had the science down.
Couldn't agree more. Anyways, so we're all in agreement that much like Draymond Green during the Warriors run, Dillon Brooks, he's doing what he needs to do. He's that enforcer for the Houston Rockets. However, much like the NFL, referees in the NBA aren't making calls that they should be.
Get rid of the refs.
We're getting Chris on here right now.
Bring in the UFL refs, baby. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, bro, at this point, I mean, come on now. All the fucking camera angles we got now.
Correct.
Like,
I mean,
bro,
come
I can watch an entire NBA basketball game from the camera behind the motherfucking backboard.
I've
I watched the whole game from the
games
backboard.
of Clay Matthews literally like doing a pushing motion to the quarterback, and he gets flagged for fucking roughing the passer. It's ridiculous. But put your minds to this. Timberwolves player Anthony Edwards was not having it when it came to OKC versus Minnesota. A lot was happening in the NBA on Tuesday. I'm going to just let you know that. Despite the score being 107 to 101, Minnesota finished with 19 rebounds, while OKC finished with 17 rebounds. However, Minnesota went 13 of 15 from the line, while OKC would go 17 for 22 from the foul line. Despite everything, should the NBA, not Adam Silver, who was the commissioner before Silver took over?
The little
Stern!
Jewish guy. Yeah, David Stern.
Adam Stern, I hope you listen because the league is too soft. Should the league crack down on today's NBA referees?
The problem is sports today are built for the safety of the players, and they're going to enforce that almost every single time. However, there has to be a point to where they say this is a sport. There is risk involved in playing. That's why you make $35 million over 3 years. So I believe that yes, the refs should definitely be held accountable at all costs in all sports. But I will not get into a ref rant. I don't know how to control myself. But yes, they should be held accountable. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, as far as it goes, is refs should have to deal with the same type of consequences. As far as, look, man, you miss a call, that's a warning. You miss
Right.
2 calls, now you miss a game, and you don't get paid for that game, right? You miss multiple big play calls. Bam, okay, you're banned from reffing any league games for a year. And
they should have press conferences.
Like,
they really should.
Yep.
My whole thing is I want to see this guy who just fucked up. You know what I mean? Again, multiple calls in a game. Yeah, you should have to stand there and answer for that shit. Well, how come you didn't see this from the pitcher angle? You're looking right at it, but you didn't pull the flag. Why? Why is that?
You
just brought
up
of it happening with him standing right there.
Memory. Oh my God, who was that Detroit pitcher that was on the verge of a perfect game? He pitched for the Detroit Tigers. Jose Galarraga, something like that. It was like a routine ground ball.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes, and the called the runner safe when he was clearly out.
Yep.
Unbelievable. I mean,
the fact that Angel Hernandez still has a job tells you everything you need to know. It really does. Like, he is the worst ref, umpire, and if any sport that ever lived, he continues to make all this money, be in the big games in the World Series. It's insanity.
What was that motherfucking basketball motherfucking referee? That
I know.
I'm sorry, hands down. That white he's the white dude. He fucking
Tim Donahue or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. He
was betting on basketball games.
Yeah, he fucked over Iverson multiple times. They fucked him over in the playoffs. They fucked him over during the regular season. Like, bro, they fucked Iverson, man. And that cocksucker
they really did.
Betting on games, throwing extra penalties on shit just to.
Angel Hernandez does it 162 times a fucking year over 20 years. He wins. I mean, he is consistently the worst. Now your boy may have been dirty on the tape, but Angel Hernandez is just fucking shitty, and that is a fact.
No. Absolutely, bro. And again, if it was up to me, right, especially with baseball, baseball's the easiest fucking thing to do it. You put that still camera right there, and you've got the strike zone,
and you're done.
I don't know. I mean, Deion Sanders himself really said that baseball was the hardest sport to play, this is the greatest cornerback of all time.
Absolutely, but see, that's what I'm saying though. If you've got a computer, you know what I mean, a fixed still camera that literally has it locked in the motherfucking zone, so no matter who comes up to bat, the strike zone is sitting in the same spot. So it's no disadvantage, no advantage to anyone. If you're shorter, all right, well, it's a little higher. If you're taller, well, it's a little fucking lower. You know what I mean? Other than that, it's the same fucking spot. So every pitcher knows when you can practice, you practice with the fucking screen. This is what it is.
So I mean, God forbid you're Aaron fucking Judge, who's 6'9", and his strike zone is.
Hey, listen, but he's a great low ball hitter. He's a great low ball hitter.
It should be the same, 3 foot by 3 foot, whatever they want to do, but they have the technology to adjust it to the height to where it should be. That's what they should do, and they can. Like you and I and James can sit here and make videos all day long that look realistic. They can have a fucking camera that goes up and down with the people. It's ridiculous that we haven't made it to that point yet. It is.
It really is. Yeah. No, I completely agree.
Boy, I hate referees. Let's.
I mean, look, in all seriousness,
And then
refs need to be cracked down on because the NFL refs are getting away with way too much. I mean, some of the tapes speak for themselves. The NBA refs, obviously, like, I'm not even gonna lie. When Anthony Edwards was doing his post-game interview, I really thought that it was like, oh, well, it must have been a little for the Timberwolves, but a lot for the OKC. Imagine my surprise when I'm seeing 19 fouls and 17 fouls. It's like, dude, I get it. Take your fine, but still, like, referees should still be held accountable.
Well, what kills me, especially about the NBA, and the Hawks had a chance to get Anthony Edwards for John Collins, who we traded for nothing. We didn't take it, but that's a different story. College basketball refs seem to be very fucking consistent. Like, I watch a lot of college basketball, and they're pretty damn on the take there. I mean, like, they're calling it straight down the middle. The only
I was going to say, I wouldn't talk because South Carolina is number one in the women's division.
Well, I mean, South Carolina plays very disciplined. Dawn Staley. So if they end up getting like 22 fouls, then yeah, I'll cry foul. I will, but you don't see that a lot, you know?
No, absolutely.
Unless you're Duke or North Carolina, then you tend to get all the calls.
But I'll say this. I'll say this. As far as college refs, there's a lot of college basketball games. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so them guys are pulling double and triple duties.
Yep.
All right. So knowing that, I'm like, these guys, those jobs, that money, it goes a long way. And I don't think most of them they're honest guys. They love the sport.
Correct.
When you get to the NBA. All right, so when it goes from thousands to millions, like, it changes real quick. And in a matter of, a few years, you could be a millionaire in the NBA as a ref.
Yes.
In the NFL as a ref. Okay. It would, you'll be a thousandaire real quick, in college. But you'll be a thousandaire, after a decade, you might be able to be a millionaire. But even still, like, as college rep, they get paid good money for what they do. But I mean, the whole thing is it's the integrity thing. How can you guarantee me integrity?
Absolutely.
Again, and the whole thing is like the majority of refs, especially in the NFL, you can pull up multiple plays throughout the year where the penalty happens. Right in front, like they're staring right at the play where the guy's taking his head, ripping his face mask, pulling his jersey, pulling the offensive lineman.
I mean, there's 4 to 6 referees in the game for the NFL,
bro. I mean, look, it's just the whole simple fact is, at what point don't we just put them in a booth, take them off the field completely, and let's 6 guys watch the game. Yep. 6 guys watch the game, and I guarantee you, on 90+% of the calls would get called. Right now, I'd say maybe roughly 60 to 70% might be getting called.
Well, I mean, I don't think take them off the field. I think call the game from the booth, but I mean, you still got to have people down there to separate, spot the ball, move the markers. You'll have to have that. But I 100% agree. Like, if they miss a call, the booth should radio down immediately. Hey. Like, he dragged his ass to the ground. That's a holding. Here's the penalty.
I mean, look how much more exciting baseball has been since instant replay. It has literally been margined by a 10.
Except for they get it wrong a lot in Major League Baseball. That's the part that blows my fucking mind. They're watching a camera and still getting it wrong.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, there's a lot of good games where the umps do get it right, but there's also a lot of games where the umps do, where the umps do get it wrong. And it's like, look, this is our deciding factor whether we make the playoffs or not.
I mean, Angel Hernandez should be in prison. How many games did he throw for Vegas that went, you know what I mean? Like, that's money laundering. Whether he's doing it on purpose or not, he's costing a lot of people a lot of money, even players. Like, when they don't get their 300th hit or whatever and they lose $4 million because Angel Hernandez made a bad call, I mean, that shit matters. Like, he should be off the field. This is ridiculous.
He really should. I couldn't agree more.
Man.
Anyway, so we're going to steer away from the umpires, referees.
Yes, please.
Yeah. No, we need a daily dose of doc orders. You know what I'm saying? So Tuesday, newly head coach of the Bucks, Doc Rivers, made his debut against the Denver Nuggets, but Denver would spoil the debut, winning 113-107. However,
that's a good game.
It was a good game. However, much like Antonio Pierce going into Las Vegas, it was the equivalency of Devontae Adams opening himself up to Antonio Pierce the same way Giannis
Antetokounmpo.
Thank you. The same way Giannis opened himself up to Doc Rivers. Now the Bucks have a current record of 32-16. They're currently second in the Eastern Conference. What do their title chances look like right now?
The Bucks. So let's call it what it is. They fired their coach who had a super winning record. And they got Doc Rivers, so that was planned. That's what we call premeditated because it happened 2 days later.
Absolutely.
And they got better at the coaching spot. So I think their chances upped. I think they already had a good chance anyway with Giannis back there, but I mean, getting Doc Rivers was a big win. Mm-hmm. And you know, it's also premeditated. So you know, if I'm the other coach, I'm kind of curious as to why I got fired with a super winning record, even though he was toxic in the locker room, and we all know the stories. But I don't know, man. I think Bucks with Doc Rivers, that's a winning combination right there because he's the player's coach.
Exactly. Now, what you just did is you solidified that if you get at least, you know, the top 3 seed, which I think they'll get the number 2, at least the number 2 seed, okay, and they can go, they'll probably make it to you know the East Conference Championship, whether they win, lose, draw. With Doc Rivers, you're going to get 1 or 2 guys that are going to come there, right?
Correct.
And he is. I don't give a fuck when anybody says he's a draw. He's a draw. Wow, I mean, come on, man. Like, players want to play for him.
Correct.
Right? Absolutely.
So with the upcoming year, I'm just saying, if they happen to play their cards right, there's a bunch of free agents and guys who could possibly, you know, be wanting a 1-year contract with a team and could want to go out with a chip. So, I mean, it's very, very, very open. Very open. And you talking about Milwaukee being a small market team, they're about to have, I mean, like I said, if they don't win it this year, I mean, their next year is going to be very fruitful for them.
Couldn't agree more. Granted, Milwaukee is a mid-market team, but I mean, ever since Giannis came to the team, he made the he put the Milwaukee Bucks on the map. And on top of that,
yes,
you bring in a guy like Damian Lillard, who is a basketball version of, dare I say, Chris Kyle. This man can shoot from anywhere on the court, and it's not even close. You put those two together, Oh my God, they are
I will say
dangerous.
this. I will say this. I thought he was gonna be more with Milwaukee. I did, and I'm not
Okay,
gonna lie.
yeah,
Looking at his
that's fair.
average,
That's fair.
don't get me wrong. He's not
Mhm.
like near bottom of the pack or anything with all of, but I'm just talking about all around stats. When you look at all around stats on a regular
Yeah.
basis, like don't look at his average. Look at his game, like his minutes, his points. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That and that's where it's just like, but maybe it's just gearing up. Okay, it's still almost still almost to the midpoint, but again, let's see.
Yeah,
It's
and
the
I
Kevin
honestly
Love
think
effect.
that I'm sorry.
No, great.
I honestly think that Damian Lillard needing a guy like Giannis is the perfect combination. It's essentially, dare I say, modern version of D Wade and LeBron when they were on the Heat.
I kind of feel like it's the Kevin Love syndrome. So Kevin Love was a 40-20 guy in
Mm-hmm.
Timberwolves until he went to the Cavs and paired with LeBron, and then he had to take a different role. So he scored back on the shooting, and he really focused more on his defensive game and stuff like that. And I think that's kind of what Lillard's doing right now. He's acclimating to his new role. He's used to being the only fucking person on his team. He was the only one. He's out there scoring 40, 50, whatever he could do because just didn't have the talent. He doesn't have to do that now. Now all he has to do is make the shots when they matter, and I think that's kind of what we're seeing with him right now. He was able to take a step back and kind of think about what he's doing. But I agree with Mac. I think he's going to progress as the season goes, and that's what makes Milwaukee dangerous right now because you got Doc Rivers, you got him coming. I mean, it's just a winning combination all around.
All I'm saying is, okay, if Lillard's scoring 30, Giannis is scoring 30, and their bench is scoring 30, and the role players are just going to score whatever, okay, they're a defensively strong team.
Yes, they are.
That's fucking scary. Like that's scary.
Yes, it is.
But like I said, I've seen multiple games where Damian Lillard's put up. One game he put up 12 points. One game he put up 16 points. And one game he put up 18 points. And I'm like, okay. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. They only lost one of those games, but it was still like, man, like, don't. I mean, he's had a couple, 25, 28. I think he had a 31 or 32 point game, something like that. But
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, but again, like I just want to see more of that. I want to see more of him, like the showmanship of being able to be effective, put up points, and dominate.
So the early years of Damian Lillard.
Say that again.
The early years of
I mean, no. I mean, I listen. I don't want him to carry the team. He doesn't have to carry the team.
No, absolutely not.
So what I'm saying is, I want to see 20 plus points, right? Like every night,
absolutely.
every night. Okay, I want to see those assists. Okay, the rebounds, they're okay. A steal here and there, great. Okay, but consistency is key. Is you have to be assisting your second man, and then you also have to be able to score when you're the man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the way I see it, Lillard knows that Giannis is the man in Milwaukee, and he's been the man ever since.
For sure. That I'm not debating. I'm actually I'm happy. I am very happy that he's playing the part he is. I just know he can play it better.
I'll agree to that.
That's all I'm saying. I'm you know what I mean? Again, I'm not saying like, oh man, him and Giannis have to average 30 every night. No, but he should be hitting his 20 piece, and he should be getting 7-8 assists.
Just be the sniper that you are from like 3/4 of the court and let Giannis do his thing.
Yeah. Again, I'm not taking anything away from Dame. I'm not, bro. He's an amazing
completely agree.
player. He's like bro. You don't know how bad I want them to win it. Like, and bro, I'm a Wizards fan. Okay, I'm a Wizards fan. Listen to me. I love Boston. Boston has won me money. Like, they won me a shit ton of money when Paul Pierce and them won the championship. First game of the season, I watched them win. I went to the bookie. I put the money down. I said, they're going to win the championship. He was like, all right, so you understand how much this is going to win, but you understand, like, you're going to put this money in. I'm telling you, I'm going to go spend it right now because you ain't getting this money. You like it's done. Like, you lost this bet. And sure as shit, here it come. It's June. Hey, partner, you got that money, right? and I did. And I made a bunch of bets with a bunch of different people. And I made a lot of money off that.
Oh, I bet.
So that's why I love Boston. Ray Allen and them.
Well, KG is from right up the road from where I'm from. He's from Malden, South Carolina, which is right up the road, and we got to watch him play.
Garnett?
He sure is. He's from Malden, South Carolina, and we got to watch him play in high school, which was really cool. But he didn't go to college, which really sucks that he didn't go to college because he committed to the University of South Carolina, and then he skipped.
Does not suck. I'm sorry. I'm happy as a motherfucker. He didn't go to college.
I mean, he it's just like Ohio State fans would have got LeBron had he went to college. I feel the same way about KG. Like, he was going. He was signed, still delivered, and that money came, and he's like, yeah, I ain't going to college.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I mean, I'm telling you, like, the constant meme I've seen going around. Well, you know what? LeBron would have gone to college, but here's the thing. He failed his finals more times than he won it.
Well, yeah, that's true. However, LeBron coming out of high school was the most hyped player ever, and they threw $50 million at him at an 18-year-old. I mean, they throw $50 million at a 42-year-old. I'm taking the money. I mean, and then you can't blame the guy. I mean, I'm taking the money and running.
I mean, ever since I heard when I was 13 years old and I found out that there was a high schooler going into the NBA named LeBron James, like, I was just like, yo, I got to copy his game.
God,
and then it was, unfortunately, up until 2010, the fucking decision that he was like, oh, I'm going to Miami. Motherfucker, you running!
I'm taking my talents to South Beach.
Yes, sir.
Here's my whole
thing. Hating, but that was iconic.
Listen, for me, the greatest thing that LeBron has done his entire career is this man has never done anything negative. He has never, you know what I mean? Like at all, think about all the superstars that have, infidelity, domestic.
I think there's a hidden reason behind that, but I'll keep that to myself.
I mean, my thing is,
no. At this point,
throughout his career,
there ain't no, like, come on, man. If something was out there, it would be out there. It would be out there. Come on now. TMZ would pay millions for that story.
Absolutely.
Okay. Like,
they paid billions.
It's too lucrative if you had that kind of dirt not to come out with that.
Here's the thing. As far as being a good person, putting your money where your mouth is, helping, giving back, he's the best. And you cannot deny that. However, when it comes to his sexual life, I believe there's more than meets the eye, and I don't think that it's going to come out because I think they're all in on it. And when you're all in on it, it's not infidelity. I'm just going to call it as I see it.
Well,
I mean,
I'm just going to call it the way I see it. If he made a I Promise school out of taxpayers' money, and they can't pass a fucking basic math test.
Well, he's not the teacher. I'm gonna give him a pass on
Agreed. Yeah, no, I mean, look, I'm not gonna bash him because he's not the teacher. I'm just saying, like, look, you made a school because obviously you had it so bad when you went to school in Akron, but you make a fucking school for kids that have it so bad, and they can't pass a fucking basic math test.
That is a problem. Definitely is. However, once again, these kids that are coming there, and I'm not bashing them, but they didn't come from a good background. They didn't come from a good place. They came from a very bad place.
Yeah.
So it is a little different when you've come from a terrible, terrible place to try to get structure and all that immediately, right?
Right.
So that is a different story. However, if he's putting in the money that he has, he should have the educators there that know how to make these kids go where they are. That's where it is a failure. And that's where you and I will agree on that 100% because he can afford the best of the best.
Absolutely. I know I shouldn't, but I apologize for the yelling. But this is what this channel is all about. You know
Correct.
what I'm saying?
I'm good.
Let's go.
I'm not. Look, I'm not trying to damage any eardrums and make y'all deaf.
Oh no. I got special headphones. It doesn't matter how loud you
Oh.
yell. It's only going to go one volume.
Yeah, you're turned up on the speaker. Okay, you're loud, my man. You're loud. Let's crank it. Let's crank it.
Hey, look, this is what my channel is all about. I'm not trying to make anyone deaf. I'm from the East Coast, and just Big Mac, you know how we do things on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
speaking of the East Coast, we got some Baltimore blunders we gotta discuss. Not only did the Ravens fail to do what they needed to do in the AFC
Yep, AFC Championship.
championship round, motherfucking Lamar fucking had the Ravens.
Yep. Oh man, it's run the ball. The one thing we did not do that it just like it's a head slap. Like, how do you have the team with the most rushing attempts? What were we, second in rushing yards?
At
Like,
least that.
come on, man. And you don't run the ball versus the Kansas City Chiefs, the worst run defense there was. Okay.
I believe they ran the ball like 6 fucking times in that game. But Lamar wants to show off his arm as if that wasn't bad enough.
So I'll say this. What made him look bad, right, as a passer, both of those bad plays, the interception, why did he throw that interception? Let's
or even the throw to Zay Flowers, for crying out loud.
Bro, as soon as they grabbed him in the middle of the route, Lamar was like, okay, whoop, he throws it. That cornerback said, Fuka, push that mother. Bro, he damn near tackled that man out of the way of the ball.
Yeah,
Like, homeboy was trying to get up and jump up behind him. But that motherfucking cornerback was like, no, sir, I'm pushing you completely out of the play. That's it. Come on, pass interference. And that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, the fucking Chiefs, God forbid, they do some fucking taunting, but as soon as the Ravens do some fucking taunting, there's a fucking flag. Tell me it's scripted without telling me it's scripted.
Bro, they walked over Lamar. Multiple times. Like, stepped all the way over him. Nothing. Jason Kelsey, get up. Jump all up in our guy's face. Nothing.
I mean, it's crazy. But what got me was the fact that president and CEO of the Orioles, John P. Angelos, sold the Orioles for $1.725 billion That's with a B, ladies and gentlemen.
Me too.
$1.725 billion to two private equity billionaires. Mr. Spicy Big Mac, where do the Orioles go from here going into the season that is coming up so soon?
Okay, the biggest question has been answered. Where are the Orioles going? Nowhere. They're going nowhere. They're staying.
And they signed Corbin Burns.
All right. So the two major guys with the hedge fund that bought them, both of these guys are Baltimore based. Now the other hedge fund people are also all have ties as Baltimore based. So me knowing like finding all of this out, all of it coming out, the articles coming out, the people coming out and speaking on it, and everybody like, yes, we're affirming we're here. We're not going anywhere. It has now made us fans a whole lot better. Now, as far as where we're going from here, I'm saying 90 wins. I'm taking 90 wins. We're going to the playoffs.
I was going to say, I really hate to cut you off, but the fact that the Orioles got sold for $1.7 billion had my attention. What you're saying has my curiosity. I mean, like, look, baseball season is fucking upon us next month. Pitchers and catchers have already reported. I cannot fucking wait.
And I'm just saying, Baltimore's pitching got better.
Yeah, I mean, Corbin Burns, Jesus.
With everybody that we also
you
have.
Got fucking Adley Rushman behind the plate for crying out loud.
Man. And Jackson Holiday is now going to be coming up and playing in the majors with us.
Oh,
and,
I think I saw a
Ryan
video on
Mountcastle,
YouTube where he's like one of the best prospects going into this season.
Yeah, Mountcastle's going to have a big year.
Oh,
I think.
God.
So do the Orioles win the East?
We first or second, playoffs no matter what. I'm saying 90 wins. We're going to get at least 90 wins, and we'll make to the playoffs.
In my opinion, I honestly think it's going to come down to the Orioles and Tampa Bay Rays. Granted, last year it came down to those two teams, but I think next year or this year is going to come down to those two teams again. Man, oh man, the talent is young, the talent is there, and it's going to be fucking competitive.
It is, but I think the Yankees are going to really, really step back up. People are counting them out because of a down year.
Yeah.
But
I'm not. Who do you think I'm like? That's what I'm talking about. The Orioles. Well, we're going to be 1-2 with the fucking Yankees.
Yes, I agree.
People
I agree.
Shit out of Boston, Tampa. There's no way they lost Glaslow, whatever it is.
I think Tampa takes a step back. Yes, and I think the Yankees take a step up.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. Look, like we described, I believe 1 or 2 weeks ago, the AL East is the baseball equivalent to the SEC. There is a standard that needs to be met for the AL East, and man, oh man, do all the teams step up and make it so fucking competitive.
So they do. However, I want all the smoke.
Ooh.
All of it. It is the year of the Braves.
Ooh.
Bring it.
Hey, Braves are going to get
baseball
from the Miami fucking Marlins. You best believe.
Hold on. What division are you in?
Rise is going to do his thing. Bring on Spencer Strider, baby.
We are in the NL East.
Okay, so we could see y'all in the World Series. Oh no, I can see you. I can see you. I can see you smiling.
It is a wrap this year. Last year was an anomaly.
You ready?
Homie, what are you doing?
you can't see me.
No, it is 100%. The Braves want all the smoke. The anomaly that happened last year will not happen this year. It
Okay.
is on.
Hey,
Bro,
hey.
listen. Your boy Acuna needs to hit some motherfucking home runs, okay? Like,
Fucking
come on, bro.
MVP.
Like,
MVP.
listen. And I'm just saying, every time I bet on him to hit a home run, he never hit a home run.
Look,
And
I'm
bet
just
on him a
saying,
lot,
when it comes to the
I lost
NL
a
East,
lot of
I
parlays.
got my money on the Braves, the Marlins, and the motherfucking Phillies. Those are the three teams that are coming out of the NL East. Fuck the Mets.
Revenge
and
tour.
whoever is in that fucking division.
There ain't nobody I hate worse than the fucking Phillies and the Mets. And Bryce Harper is the grimiest of the grimy. And I can't wait to shut that little weirdo up because we are going to fuck them up.
Well,
All
hey,
the smoke.
look, the Phillies lost a key position player being Reese Hoskins to the Brewers of all teams. If the Cubs get re-signed, motherfucking Cody Bellinger, oh, God, the NL Central is going to be fucking lit.
Man, all I know is how the fuck is the Cincinnati Reds so fucking good? Like, I mean, like, they have nobody.
I'll give you 3 words, my guy. Ellie forwards. Ellie De La Cruz.
Okay, number 2 is...
It doesn't matter. Did you see what the Reds were able to do with Ellie De La Cruz? Homie was crushing balls so bad that the ball that got crushed had a family.
Well, they got nobody to protect him this year, but they really have nobody last year. It's an anomaly. The Reds should not have been that good, but they were.
Hey, look, all it takes is one player. I think, if I'm not mistaken, is Joey Votto going into the season this year?
He's 112. Who cares? I mean,
Damn.
Oh, God.
He's not the Joey Votto of old, is what I'm saying. He's still a better player than me, but he's not going to make that much of an impact anymore.
No, for real. I cannot wait for baseball season.
Me either.
Me
neither.
I'm so ecstatic for the fucking Diamondbacks just because of the season that they went on this year. They beat the Phillies. They beat the LA Dodgers in the NLDS. Not only beat them, but they swept them. And on top of that, you had Jock Peterson to that team, who's excited to be a part of a young electric team.
He's excited to be anywhere.
Oh.
I like Jock Peterson. He no matter what it is, he's just like, we are those motherfuckers, like out of nowhere. And I'm fighting with another city.
Hey, the Diamondbacks are those motherfuckers. They got a squad put together.
They do. They have a very dangerous team.
God. Look, I'm a Yankees fan, and I've hated the Diamondbacks since Luis Gonzalez made the walk-off hit against Mariano Rivera.
Luis Gonzalez, man. That's my dude right there. Kurt Schilling and Randy Johnson going 1 and 2, didn't even need a third pitcher in that World Series. That shit was fucking fire. That was a great, great series.
Oh, God. I couldn't agree more. Look, me being a kid and being raised a Yankees fan, it was a bad time.
I was like 25.
Oh, God. I was like 11, 12 years old, and it was so bad because it was like, oh, you buy your players, you cheat, you do this, you do that. You don't like it?
Don't?
Fucking do the same thing.
Well, the Yankees always have more money than any other team, but that's not their fault. I mean, they were able to put together a a organization to where they cashed in on even Babe Ruth. To this day, they're making money off that fucking name because it's
Absolutely.
just brilliant strategic business is what
They're
they
even making money off of Derek Jeter, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most overrated shortstops. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love Derek Jeter. But no, yes, they are. They're making some good money.
Ain't better than Cal Ripken.
No, he isn't.
Ooh, yeah,
I'm giving Cal Ripken the nod. He's the fucking Iron Man.
yeah, absolutely. I'll agree to that.
I love Cal Ripken, man. When
How can you
that
not?
All-Star game, when Alex Rodriguez said, "You know what? No, I'm not taking shortstop." He moved to third, put Cal Ripken in the shortstop. That respect from a player of that caliber tells you what Cal Ripken was.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Abso-friggin-lutely.
Yep.
Look, God,
it was my childhood, Cal Ripken, man. I loved him.
I mean, my childhood was obviously Derek Jeter, Jorge Posada, Bernie Williams. Like, look, I grew up on arguably the greatest Yankees of all time at the time. But anyways, we got plenty of time to talk about baseball when it comes around. For now, we got the Super Bowl that is coming up next fucking weekend, baby. Now, Mr. Brock Purdy went from Mr. Purdy of irrelevant, I should say. Anyways, he's come up close here and there. Ah, man. Had he not gotten injured against the Eagles, I believe, a year ago, I think the 49ers would have been in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. And in my opinion, I honestly think they would have won. But if Brock Purdy and the 49ers go into the Super Bowl and they win, what does a Super Bowl win do for Brock Purdy?
So he's still not your Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady flashy name. However, a Super Bowl win would do a lot to change that. Mm-hmm. He's got the weapons around him to do it.
Absolutely.
The only thing that scares me is Andy Reid. Now, I've been talking about this for weeks. Andy Reid is the X factor. We saw it 2 weeks ago. We saw it last week, and we could see it next week. He's just so damn hard to outcoach, and he's got an elite quarterback, and it's outrageous how good of a fucking coach Andy Reid is. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, I don't see how the Chiefs are going to stop McCaffrey, Kittle, Deebo Samuel. Like, I just don't see how they'll get their 17, but they'll give up
you for crying out loud.
I don't know. Andy Reid could come up with something. I believe in him that much. I do. But no reason the 49ers should lose this game. Like, no way. No way they should.
I'll agree to that.
My heart is telling me 49ers.
But my brain, R. Kelly.
But my brain up here is telling me I'm going to go ahead with Kansas City.
With the Zebras.
Yep. With the Zebras. The Zebras in Kansas City, they can't be beat.
Well, you can't beat a Super Bowl talent team and the refs. You just cannot. It can't be done. The Chiefs are a great team. That's why they are where they are. And if they have any help at all, it's a wrap for you. That is a fact. But unless they just plan on calling a bunch of holds to negate McCaffrey's run, because he's going to run fucking all day long through that Swiss cheese run defense that they have. They won't make the same mistake that the Ravens made. The Ravens coaching tried to outsmart themselves by throwing the ball, and it just really didn't make much sense. But the 49ers won't. I mean, they're going to hand the ball to McCaffrey. They're going to be like, we paid you all this fucking money. I want my return. Go get me 102. That's
Absolutely.
what they're going to ask.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, look, even my platoon sergeant, he was like, look, I am so sick of seeing Kansas City in the Super Bowl, in the AFC Championship, but at the same time, it's like, look, Patrick Mahomes, he has Andy Reid. like he got Donovan McNabb and the Eagles to a freaking Super Bowl, for crying out loud, and Terrell Owens of
With
all
no defense.
players was playing on like a torn quad, torn something, for fuck's sake.
Right. Andy Reid is loved.
Yes, absolutely.
And to go back to Mac's point, people want to play for him, and they get the pieces they need.
I mean, like, even before Patrick Mahomes came to the Chiefs, they were winning with Alex Smith, for fuck's sake.
Because they have Andy Reid.
Absolutely. As soon as Patrick Mahomes came to the team, oh my God, you best believe that Andy Reid was licking his chops because he knew what to do with Patrick Mahomes.
But what could have been with Alex Smith, man, without the injuries?
Absolutely.
What could have been?
Yeah. Bro. Yep.
I was literally about to say that because I mean, he then went to what 49ers.
Yep.
Started winning some games.
Yeah.
And got injured, and then Colin Kaepernick swooped in and stole all that thunder. And then where does he wind up? Somewhere else.
Well,
it ends with the Commanders.
And unfortunately for the 49ers, Kaepernick was not a very good quarterback. He was a good enough general to get him up and down the field, but when it came to elite time play, he was guaranteed 2-3 interceptions a game. That was unfortunate for him.
I mean,
Alex Smith, though, my God, the gruesome injury over and over and over, man. It was awful.
I mean, the craziest thing that I saw was when Alex Smith went to the Redskins. I said Redskins, fucking fight me in the comments. I dare you. When Alex Smith went to the Redskins, he suffered an injury, the exact same injury that Joe Theismann suffered, courtesy of LT.
I watched that game live, by the way. That's how old I am.
He suffered the same injury that Joe Theismann did on the exact same date against the exact same team. I mean,
Lawrence Taylor's the greatest linebacker that ever lived. And if you don't agree with that, then you're crazy. Sure, he was cocaine fueled, but it made it even more fun that watching this psycho out there. Lawrence Taylor was fun to watch, man. Like, just fun to watch. But he was brutal. The game was brutal back then. And that's the reason, that play right there is the reason you saw a lot of rule changes that came down almost immediately after that.
And despite being
my dude was brutal.
I mean, despite being coked up, LT was like, "Hey, yo, we need some people out here because I think I killed this guy."
Well, you remember when they asked him what the secret formula to his success was, and he said cocaine, and then walked off the stage like he didn't even hide it. Him and Darryl Strawberry just out there, just raging the fuck out, man.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
But it was fun. It was like the steroids. Like, I don't care what anybody says, man. Watching Barry and Mark and Sammy crush those balls, I don't give a fuck they were on steroids. That shit was fun.
I mean, couldn't agree more. Like, look, I showed my wife a video of, what was it, 2001, Sammy Sosa. They were in the Milwaukee Brewers Park, and Sosa was just launching them. I even showed my wife the video. I'm like, look, I'm 10 beers deep, but look, you bring up my nieces and nephews. If they're pitching, I'm launching them like this. But so speaking of the Super Bowl, we're gonna get into Kansas City for a bit. Since Patrick Mahomes has come to the team, they have been to not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not even 5, but 6 straight AFC Championship appearances since Mahomes went under center. Despite the outcome of the Super Bowl, should we label Kansas City a dynasty?
If they win, Yes.
There's your reason. That's the reason.
I was going to say, don't everybody speak at once.
I mean, yes, they are a dynasty. The Bills lost 4 straight Super Bowls, right? It was unfortunate. They were still a dynasty. They ran the AFC. They ran it and they bullied them. It was a dynasty. Like, you can't take that away from them. Did they win the grandest stage of all? No. Did they beat the hell out of just about everybody they played for 4 straight years? Yes. So, give them their flowers. Like the Chiefs and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes have found a Bill Belichick, Tom Brady type vibe going on there. And, they're just winning. He's not winning like Tom Brady was, but once again, he's still young in his career. We'll see how it goes, but he ain't gonna have Andy Reid for much longer. He's pretty old at this point. I think he's in his 70s. I think we'll see him coming to an end if he wins it this year.
We're gonna circle back to that right quick, but Big Mac, what you gotta say about that?
Well, about the Andy Reid thing, I don't know. I think he's got a couple more years left in him. I think the cheeseburgers are gonna hold him over a couple more years. But
he likes them.
That he does.
Dude, it's a dynasty. It's a dynasty, especially if they win. Hands down, right? Give them their flowers, bro.
He's only 65. That just tells you.
Oh shit!
Yeah, see, that's he
was young when he was doing it with the Eagles. Man, that's crazy.
And with McNabb under center, my God,
McNabb was a baller when he wanted to be.
Straight facts.
And they had Deuce Staley. Man, they had a squad. They just didn't have a goddamn defense.
What are you talking about? Well,
who didn't have a defense?
The Eagles. Yeah. The only guy leading that defense was Brian Dawkins.
Right.
It was Dawkins. I thought they had Kearse.
The problem was they were too inconsistent. So their defense would give up, just especially when the game was on the line. The problem
with when they got to the Super Bowl, unfortunately, they ran into the Patriots.
And they ran into Donovan McNabb making strange decisions. But that's a discussion for another day.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows McNabb threw that game. That game was thrown.
Threw that game. Motherfucker threw it. And I love McNabb up to that day, too. Like, I really did.
Bro, my brother was an Eagles fan growing up, and to watch him cry was great, but it pissed me off so much because it was like, come on, man, his team's actually going to win the fucking Super Bowl. Like, the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. Well, the Eagles lost the Super Bowl.
Unfortunately, they did.
I feel his pain.
Arguably to the greatest quarterback game manager of all time.
Fuck Tom Brady. I'm a Falcons fan. I just want to throw that out there real quick.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But look, as much as I hate the guy, I gotta give credit to when credit is due.
Oh yeah.
However, Tom Brady would be 10-0 had it not been for Eli Manning and Nick Foles, baby.
So hold on, hear me out here. As a Baltimore Ravens fan, okay, New England has put me out of the playoffs more years than I think y'all have been in the playoffs the last 25 years. Okay.
Look, I'm sorry we went on 2 lucky runs, okay?
So, look, man, we have been a franchise since the 60s, and we ain't got a Super Bowl yet. I don't want to hear it. You ain't got a gripe like I got a gripe. You just ain't got it. You got a ring. We got a fucking implosion.
Hey, listen. Hey, we didn't have an offense either.
Dude, look, we went to the Super Bowl twice.
You didn't have an
and
offense.
We ran into
you
John
certainly had an offense
Elway
when you decimated the Giants 35 to fucking 7 in a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off like that. I'm sorry. But the Ravens clearly had an offense and a defense, arguably the greatest of all time, second to the 85 Bears, mind you, when they won the Super Bowl against the fucking Giants with Trent Dilfer under center.
Hell, the 85 Bears won it with Jim fucking McMahon under center. I mean, like, that shit's goofy. That's some goofy shit right there because he was awful. But they had Walter
I'll
Payton.
take Jim McMahon over Trent Dilfer any day of the week.
No.
No. You put the right players around Jim McMahon. Give me him any day of the week over Trent Dilfer. Okay, Big Man. Who was the Ravens offense when Trent Dilfer was under center?
It was Jamal Lewis, Jermaine Lewis. It was Brandon Stokely. Mm-hmm. It was Shannon Sharp, and Ishmael.
You put Jim McMahon under center, they're still winning regardless.
I mean, you think if you don't
No. Don't you give me that bullshit. Don't give me that bullshit.
Listen to me. No, okay, you have to understand. You have to understand. Trent Dilfer didn't play the entire season. He only played the last half of the season. Okay. We had Tony Banks. Tony fucking Banks.
I'm still taking Jim McMahon. You know what he could do with that kind of offensive power, especially with Shannon Sharp on the tight end?
Listen. Let's be honest here.
I watched him play.
Shannon Sharp and Jamal Lewis. That's what you had. Ishmael could get open every once in a while down the field, but I mean, that's it. The offense was so stagnant and horrible. Okay, Jamal Lewis was a rookie. He, as a rookie, carried the offense to the.
You know what? I like that. I am going to remind myself to put together that poll on villains. I want to know: would you rather have Trent Dilfer or Jim McMahon? And take the flashy out of it, because Jim McMahon was flashy, but he wasn't better.
He was flashy, but man, oh man, could he bark!
And he could throw interceptions with the best of them too. Trent Dilfer wasn't making mistakes. That's why I'm taking him. You know, Trent Dilfer was very safe with the ball. Jim McMahon was too overconfident in his abilities, in my opinion. You know, he had the greatest defense of all time, and Walter Payton. Jesus Christ, I think I could have won a few games back there. I'm just throwing that out there.
I love it. I love it.
Hand the ball to Walter Payton. Yes, sir.
All I gotta do is hand the ball off to Jamal Lewis. I bet.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, Walter Payton over Jamal Lewis. I mean, there's no disrespect to Jamal Lewis, but this is Walter fucking Payton.
No, hey, look again. No disrespect. It's not even close. I mean, Walter Payton is. Oh God!
Weakness.
It's literally the GOAT conversation between Walter Payton and Barry Sanders, the same way that it is with Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
I couldn't agree more.
So I will say this, okay? Jamal Lewis's first 5 years in the NFL, I will put up against any Hall of Fame running back.
Really?
His first 5 years in the league, I'll put up against like no worries.
I'll put Jim Brown's first 5 years in the league up against his.
No, I mean I'm not saying he's gonna beat everybody. I'm just saying you can compare.
Yeah, now his first 5 years he was a baller. And then of course, you know, running backs age quickly in the league. But yeah, man, he was unstoppable for a minute. He really was.
I mean, I'm gonna just say this: the two running backs that were involved in the greatest football game of all time, being NFL Street, were Walter Payton and Barry Sanders.
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
Barry Sanders is the greatest running back of all time.
And
I don't care.
It's so, in my opinion, it's so close between the two.
Walter Payton.
I see.
Peyton
Like
is number 2, definitely. But Barry's the GOAT. And I mean, like, I remember as a kid, I wanted to be Barry Sanders. Like, I watching him play on Thanksgiving Day, like 5 guys around him. It's over, right? 5-yard loss. 28 yards later, touchdown. Like, what the hell happened? Like, Barry Sanders was so fun.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Barry Sanders was LaShawn McCoy before LaShawn McCoy. That man was moving fucking laterally, and it should have been illegal.
You weren't going to catch him. Like,
no, absolutely. No, I couldn't agree more.
I loved him. I like to watch him.
When it comes to running backs, it's either Walter Payton or Barry Sanders, and it's just everybody else.
I agree. It's Barry Sanders, Walter Payton,
Jim Brown. Jim Brown is definitely right up in there. Okay?
Definitely number 3.
Oh, yeah, couldn't agree more. Like, he is in the same stratosphere as those 2 running backs. Man, oh man, I've seen the clips. That man was just a bulldozer.
And he played in an era with 0 rules. They were brutal.
No,
face mask. We don't need no goddamn
in an era where Cleveland should have won a fucking championship.
I mean,
for Christ's sake.
I mean, I wouldn't want to get hit by that monster.
No, couldn't agree.
I would have laid out of the way too. I missed the tackle. Fuck, find me.
I mean, like Jim Brown, Walter Payton, and Barry Sanders were the running back equivalency of Ray Lewis at the linebacker position. Like, no, I'm going to just lay down, go ahead, get your 30-plus yards, get a 30-plus yard touchdown, do what you need to do. No. I'm not trying to stop you. You're not trying to stop me.
I bet
so here's the kicker, though.
Twice.
Jim Brown was bigger than most of the offensive and defensive linemen in the league at that time.
He was huge.
Like, just saying.
He was huge. He was a big man. He was like Jerome Bettis.
Oh my God. I mean, it's crazy. Oh,
I love me some Jerome Bettis too, but
God. How can you not?
I
mean, look, I'm so nostalgic on football.
Mike Allstott. Give me Mike Allstott. That is, if we're talking about North and South runner, like Mike Allstott all day. That motherfucker will run you the fuck over. He was
so nostalgic on football games. I cannot move on to Madden, any fucking Madden and beyond. Give me NFL Street 1 and 2 any day of the week. Those are the 2 greatest football games of all time.
Let's test your NFL IQ. You need 2 yards. Steve Atwater is not available, by the way, in case you know the play. Do you go with Mike Allstott?
That was a dangerous man.
Or Christian Okoye? Who do you give the ball to for 2 yards? Steve Atwater does not play at that point. Because
what are my decisions?
Like 2 yards, you got Mike Allstott to hand the ball to, or Christian Okoye? Who are you giving the ball to?
As biased as
you're on mute, Matt.
As biased as I want to say, oh God, give me Allstott.
Yeah,
he was a fucking beast.
Listen. Both can make it. Okay, both can make it all day long, Okay, now here's the thing: if the offensive line is getting out of the way, okay, it's Okoye. Okay, if the offensive line is swing blocking or assisting at all, it's Allstott.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like I was going to say, my childhood, but the Nigerian Nightmare is going to get the ball for me. Like I just, unless Steve Atwater's playing, he stood him up at the goal line. That I could not believe that Atwater stood him up. Like that guy was a monster too. But I love the Okoye.
Is John Lynch in the backfield? Because that man could fucking hit.
He could. I don't know, man. Well, I love Christian Okoye. I like to bring him up whenever I can. I like watching him play.
Look, oh my God.
Big, scary motherfucker.
I mean, look, we grew up in a time
I love
where
when they put him on Madden.
Yes,
on Ultimate Team, cheat code.
he was.
I was gonna say, look, we grew up in a time of Madden when it was at its fucking peak. We had Madden
Madden
2000,
came out when I was like
2001,
15.
all the way up to 05 when the hit stick was available. And me being me, like I grew up on NFL Street 1 and 2. Again, I will argue this tooth and nail, the greatest 2 football games of all time, and it's not even close. Why? Because 2 words, Randy Moss. That dude was a problem in NFL Street 1 and 2.
So I am going to be showing my age a little bit here, but how could you not make Tecmo Bowl one of the top 2 football games of all time? You know, Tecmo Bowl was the first one that really had the real players out there. And you know, granted, it's old, it's before your time. I get it, but man, when Tecmo Bowl came out, I think I was 8 years old, right? And I was like, "Oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever!" Like I'm playing with John Elway, I'm playing with Bernie Kosar. This is so
You're
cool.
playing with Bo Jackson, for crying out loud. Arguably the greatest running back of all time.
Well, we had a rule. Like I played with Bo Jackson in the season, but if I was playing against somebody, neither team could have the Raiders. It just wasn't fair.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
So for me, a little different here. All right. So what is it? NFL 2K 05. That was that was the best one. That was the best one.
Yeah.
So the NFL, the NFL, I think that was the last year they did it, or I think maybe they did it 1 year after. But when you did a player mode, you could play any position.
Mm-hmm.
You could play offensive lineman. You could play defensive lineman. You linebacker, and anything. You play tight end, a fullback. Okay, anything.
Even at halftime, you got like the ESPN updates from fucking Chris Berman.
So
exactly, like dude, it was the most
greatest
interactive
NFL personality of all time.
NCAA 13. And let me tell you why. As a Gamecock fan, I got to play on a team that had Stephon Gilmore, Jadeveon Clowney, Melvin Ingram, DJ Swearinger, Alshon Jeffrey, Connor Shaw, Marcus Lattimore. So y'all think about what that Gamecock team was, because all of those
South
players
Carolina
played
did
on the
not
same
have that
team.
kind of team defensively.
They did. They all played at the same time. Go and look it up. All of them were Gamecocks.
Fuck out of here.
That's some crazy shit, isn't it? Like,
yes,
Gamecocks
sir.
were good.
Oh, I love
Real
it.
good.
I love history. Oh, love it.
I mean, South Carolina's not been a very good football program, and they won 11 games 3 years in a row because of Stephon Gilmore, Davion Clowney, Melvin Ingram, DJ Swearinger, and so forth. I mean, like, that team was team.
They won the Outback Bowl when Jadeveon Clowney had that iconic fucking hit and fumble recovery.
Michigan still feels that to this day.
You're absolutely right.
I mean, those teams, if the playoffs had existed in those teams, South Carolina would have won a national championship one of those 3 years with that talent. Would have happened.
I agree with that.
But just fathom.
Who's stopping Jadeveon Clowney on South Carolina?
Nobody could stop him. When they tried to double team him, we had Melvin fucking Ingram on the other side. Ding dong. Like, what you gonna do now?
I mean, come on. It was the essential equivalency.
Not to promote, but
it was the essential equivalency when the Raiders had Khalil Mack and the Chicago Bears had Khalil Mack. You double, triple team Khalil Mack? Uh-oh, you still forgot about the other fucking linemen that the Raiders and Chicago had, for crying out loud.
I mean, like that was the team.
Man. Do you know how bad when they were like, yeah, somebody like the Bears were going to trade away Khalil Mack, man. I wanted him to come to the Ravens.
Oh my.
Fucking bad.
That would have been a fucking cheat code, my guy. That would have been a fucking cheat
Like
code.
now realize this: Dean Peeves was our defensive coordinator at that time. He was one of he blitzed 52% of his plays. Okay, like woo, that would have been fun. But
there was just a lot of good football games in the past. College football is my favorite. I like it better than Madden, always will, because I'm a college football guy. But Tecmo Bowl, that was fun. But the one game you didn't mention that I really love when it come out was NFL Blitz. Man, gonna make you eat that ball. Like, I used to love the shit talking on there. Like, you take the quarterback, put him in a headlock, drag him 20 yards back down the field, do a pile driver, kick him in the
breaking the
ribs.
bones.
Yes.
Or even when the player was down, you're still doing like a Hogan leg drop on him.
Yes, man. That game was awesome.
All right.
So my buddy actually still has that game.
Really?
For the GameCube.
Are you kidding me? My wife and I still have an N64, and we have NFL Blitz, I believe 2001, for crying out loud.
I probably have it somewhere because I have, I think, every video game system ever made except the PS5.
Fair enough. But since we are on the topic of football, unfortunately, we have to bear witness to Taylor Swift in the fucking Super Bowl. As much as I would love to see Eminem, arguably the greatest rapper of all time, in the Super Bowl, who wins? The Kansas City Chiefs or the San Francisco 49ers?
So, have you seen the amount of revenue that the NFL has had since Taylor Swift started attending the games, getting people who didn't care about football to watch it? Like, that shit is unreal. $387 million in additional revenue just to have Taylor Swift up in the press box.
Yeah, they're called fucking Swifties.
Correct. Now, with that being said,
are they cutting a check? Because if they ain't cutting a check, does it really matter?
Well, I mean, the NFL cares. It's all about their stock. No reason the Chiefs should win this game. Like, with the exception of coaching, they're better at every position except quarterback. They're better at running back, they're better at receiver, they're better at defense, they're better at linebacker. However, I've never wanted to count Andy Reid out, as I've been saying every week that we have this discussion. I just can't count the guy out. He's a genius. However,
he really is.
The weapons that the 49ers have, if they lose, I'm calling Vegas and I'm gonna be like, y'all are some dirty bastards, because it should not happen. Like, it just shouldn't. The 49ers outclass them top to bottom.
They really do. No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, weapons-wise, yeah, the 49ers do outclass the Kansas City Chiefs, but God forbid.
Did you like the Detroit game last week? Just stay tuned. It's going to be the same fucking thing. I promise you. 49ers going to come out and they're going to punch him in the fucking face. They're going to knock him down. They're going to fuck him up. And they're going to be up like fucking 17 to 20 motherfucking points at the half. And guess what? Kansas City going to come back 30 unanswered points. Win the motherfucking game.
I mean, the craziest thing to me is that for the entirety of the season, aside from Travis Kelce, Kansas City wide receivers couldn't catch COVID if it fell into their fucking laps. Yeah.
Watch. Listen. Scantling.
As soon as the playoffs start,
bet on Scantling for a touchdown. Watch. Just watch.
If the 49ers.
Watch. The second half of this game, they're going to put up over 20 points. I promise you. Book it. Kansas City. I'm telling you. This is going to be like,
I mean,
if the 49ers go, if they go up 17, they hand the ball to McCaffrey and eat the clock. If they don't, then it's fixed. And then I will agree with you with the Zebras. At the end of the day, you have my word.
I mean, I was even going to say, like, if Patrick Mahomes win, or if the Chiefs win this Super Bowl, then it's definitely time to put Mahomes in the greatest of all time conversation next to Brady. And we all know what he did.
Well, okay, so okay, Montana is a stepping stone. I don't care. Yes. As of right now, Brady is the greatest. Okay, but Montana is definitely a stepping stone, and you don't get past Montana unless you got the Super Bowl rings to get past Montana. That's why he's the stepping stone. I'll just say that. As far as Patrick Mahomes being the greatest, you still have to get more Super Bowls.
I was going to say, I mean, look, Mahomes has been in the league for 6 years.
Mhm.
If he wins a Super Bowl, he is averaging a Super Bowl win every other year. And the numbers don't lie.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, give it 3 more years. Give it 3 more years. You know what I'm saying? If he gets 2, 3 more, all right. Now we talking greatest of all time conversation. But it's
No.
That's
I
fair.
mean, Joe Montana is a stepping stone because of the rings he had. However, I want to tell you, if you put John Elway on that 49ers team, he's got 5, 6, 7 rings. Just saying.
No, I'm absolutely. I will not disagree with you there. But again, we had a conversation yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
We both understand Elway is better. Okay,
Right.
we understand that. We are in agreement.
I mean,
there.
Elway was that
But
durable quarterback you could rely on.
To get to Elway's stature, okay, because Elway does have the multiple Super Bowls, and he also is just clearly a 100% pure passer, better than anybody fucking else when it comes to if we're talking about strictly what if you could copy paste an exact fucking form, it would be that.
It would.
No,
100%.
I couldn't agree more.
Like, would you want to tweak some things? Sure, but the form, the ability, come on, man.
The decision making.
Like,
I mean, Elway had it all,
That
except
he
the
did.
team. I mean, his
Oh,
greatest
fuck.
receiver of all time was a tight end, for fuck's sake. I mean, come on.
That he was. Unfortunately, gentlemen, that is all the topics that we have to discuss. I want to thank y'all for coming out on tonight's show. Couldn't have any people better. There it is on tonight's show. So,
man,
I hope y'all enjoy your Friday night. I hope y'all enjoy your weekend.
we have to call a Yankees-Orioles game this year.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? You already know we plan to.
And this time, listen. Okay, Andrew.
I'll make sure the sound is right.
We called 2 different games and could not hear each other on the same, like just like we're doing now. He's calling his game, I'm calling my game. I can hear him, but he can't hear me. And we're just don't matter. We're just.
It was my first time doing a live stream. Fucking sue me.
No. It was good, bro. I rewatched that video. That video was awesome. You're watching two. You're essentially listening to 2 games at one time, and then also watching 2 guys talk shit. And in between one, be like, yeah.
Hey, I was going.
He's like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Many baseball games at the time, it was unreal. I mean, look, I was going between certain games on Bally Sports and just, I mean, but no, we will do a Yankees-Orioles game, and man, oh man, I fucking got you. You're an Atlanta Braves fan?
Yes.
Oh, my dog, I got you.
Fireworks.
I'm ready. All the smoke.
Yes, sir. Oh my God. Again, thank you, gentlemen, for coming out. Like, oh God. There's no
It's a
better
pleasure.
way to start off a Friday night than doing what I love to do most, and that's talking sports with you guys.
All right, buddy.
Hey,
Peace.
peace out. Enjoy the rest of your night. Mr. Anderson, you do the same, my man.
Thanks, man. See you next Thursday.
Absolutely. Now, again, like I said in the beginning, look, it's a little cold here from where I'm at in Texas currently. But, like I said, if you click the link in the description of this video and you click the link that says Reaper Apparel, look, all you got to do is go to the website, type in No Mercy Sports 10. Again, that's No Mercy Sports, all caps, followed by the number 10, and you will get 10% off your entire purchase. I am No Mercy Sports. I will see you next Friday.